So WB and NetherRealm dropped some story details on the official website. They added bios for every character that has been revealed so far, as well as actually showing us Johnny Cage's default model. So we're going to look at all of that, but first let's look at her community art. This artist makes some of the best posters I've ever seen. They look so clean and beautiful. I just love the way they use color to blend everything and make everything pop, especially the characters, which is pretty hard to do if you don't blur the background. So props to them, I think it looks amazing. I will leave a link to their Twitter in the description of the video if you want to go like their stuff, or retweet it, whatever it. So the first bio we're going to be looking at is Mileena, of course, because to me it's the most interesting, you know, she is one of my mains. And can we talk about how awesome she looks in this game? I feel like I keep winning with the fighting game character designs this year. Marisa, Cammy, and now Mileena has an undercut and has a face scar. Like, if anyone knows me personally, they know these are literally the things I will give any character if there is a character creator in a game. So NetherRealm doing this to one of my mains, perfection. So her title is Heir to Outworld's Throne. So it's not actually Edenia, it is very much Outworld. But she doesn't seem to be the Empress right now. So it goes on to say, born mere seconds ahead of her twin sister, Mileena is the rightful heir to Outworld's throne. But even so, there are those who distrust Mileena's impulsiveness. They whisper that Kitana, with her steadier hand, should replace Mileena as the heir to the throne. As Mileena fights for legitimacy, she hides a horrible secret. She's infected with the dreaded and lethal Tarkat disease. Were her affliction found out, Mileena would be forced into battle to save her throne. So there's so much that I like about this. First, that he kept her as being impulsive and rash, because that is who Mileena is, even though she doesn't have Tarkatan blood, because in the first sentence they disprove that she is a clone. She is, you know, a natural born person. So Mileena and Kitana are actually blood related sisters for the very first time, which is freaking amazing. And most importantly, Mileena has a disease. So Tarkatans in this timeline are just Outworlders who caught a disease and were transformed into these monsters. I don't think we've seen any of the Tarkatans what they look like when the disease fully takes over. It does say that it's lethal, so I'm going to go ahead and guess that it kills everyone that it afflicts. Which, don't worry, Mileena's gonna get cured. There's gonna be some bullcrap about how the changes to her face are irreversible, but she will live and all that. I can already picture it in my mind. So that gives us like so much info on the story. It seems to me at least that the Tarkatan will not be a thing, and it might actually totally disprove Baraka from being main roster, which I'm totally fine with, because that guy literally looks like the Halloween mask in the Goosebump episode. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. He literally looks like that, and I can't deal with him. Now let's look at Raiden's, because obviously Raiden has a big change as well. So it says he is the champion of Earthrealm, so he literally switched position with Liu Kang. Every Kung Lao fan is in shambles right now, hating that he is not the champion. But I don't know how to break this to y'all, but Kung Lao was never a great character to begin with. So for Raiden's bio, it says, in the village of Fengjihan, Raiden was known for his kindness and his charity. He was happy to spend his days tending to the fields, as well as to his friends and family. So when he is asked to leave Fengjihan and become one of Earthrealm's champions, Raiden hesitates, but he soon realizes that to best serve his village, he must join them. As threats to Earthrealm mount, Raiden must mature into the great warrior that Liu Kang knows he can be. So it's just funny that they completely reverse the roles of Liu Kang and Raiden. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. It seems that Raiden was just, you know, a simple family man who was a farmer, but it does seem that he retained his lightning abilities, because if you look on his render, he actually has Raiden's amulet from Mortal Kombat 9, the one he used and was destroyed during Armageddon. If you don't know that whole history, I have a full lore video on the entire history of Mortal Kombat. Or if you just need a quick refresh, the video is there for you to watch. But basically, Raiden was using that amulet to figure out if the future was changing or not to prevent Armageddon. So it seems that he did retain his power either through the amulet or through whatever Liu Kang is going to give him. Maybe Liu Kang is going to be the one to give him lightning power, but not as a god per se. So I find that really interesting. Actually, it's one of the first, Mortal Kombat games that I'm actually interested in playing Raiden. So let's move on to Kenshi. So for Kenshi, it says, once one of the ancient Japan's most honored families, the Takahashis, were decimated in battle. They lost everything, including the emblem of their power, the revered sword Sento, which we saw in the reveal trailer, Johnny Cage has in his mansion. Those who survived joined the Bakuto, a predecessor of the Yakuza, for its protection. 5 centuries later, Kenshi is raised on the stories of his ancient family's exploits, detesting his corrupt Yakuza life. He pines to free the Takahashis from the Yakuza's grasp and restore their name. But for his family to follow him, Kenshi must first fight to prove that he can lead. His first battle is to find and retrieve Sento. Kenshi being part of the Yakuza, honestly I think is really awesome. But it did came out of nowhere, because I remember a leaker was like, yeah, Kenshi is part of the Yakuza, he has tattoos on his hands, and nobody believed him until the trailer came out. Because it did seem far-fetched, but then again, we should have known. We should have known this is Mortal Kombat. Anything can happen. But I'm really curious to see where his story leads, because in the clip where we see Mileena start to transform because of the Tarkat disease, we can see Kenshi there. So I'm really wondering like why he's involved, you know? Is it because he knows some Yakuza underground places where they can like hide Mileena or whatever? But yeah, I'm really curious to see why that is. So let's move on to Sub-Zero, Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, Bi-Han. As the Lin Kuei's Grandmaster, Sub-Zero leads his ancient warrior clan in the defense of Earthrealm from external threats. For centuries, it has been their solemn task, but Earthrealm hasn't been threatened in generations, and Sub-Zero sees no point in limiting his clan to preparing for dangers that may never come. Limiting his clan? Cyber Initiative? Under his leadership, the Lin Kuei will come out of the shadows and fight for its place as one of Earthrealm's great nations. So I love that they're making Bi-Han more the evil twin of the situation. He's the Mileena, you know, between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I actually love this change. I played Sub-Zero in the stress test, and I really loved, like, he had this viciousness, you know, about him. He was pretty dark, he was pretty mean-spirited in a way. So I'm really interested to see where this goes, which is why we're going to go straight to Scorpion next, because obviously their stories are connected. So Scorpion is a Lin Kuei warrior. Scorpion fans, how are we feeling about being part of the Lin Kuei now? Let's look at his bio. It says, like his cherished father, Scorpion is dedicated to the Lin Kuei and its defense of Earthrealm. When his father died, Scorpion was bereft, though he took pride in knowing that his brother Sub-Zero would succeed their father as the Lin Kuei's Grandmaster. Possible Bi-Han murdering their father, and Scorpion, aka possibly Kuai Liang, holding a grudge. But Sub-Zero's unprecedented moves to cast off the Lin Kuei's traditional duties have frozen Scorpion's enthusiasm. Nice use of frozen here. He fears that he may one day have to battle his brother for control of the Lin Kuei's legacy. So a lot of people are debating this, whether Scorpion is going to just leave the Lin Kuei and create the Shirai Ryu, because as of now it seems that either the Shirai Ryu does not exist or Scorpion is just not a part of it, or he's going to become the Grand Master of the Lin Kuei, being Kuai Liang, but still retaining the moniker Scorpion. Now that would be so freaking wild to me. Scorpion, the leader of the freaking Lin Kuei. Talk about wild storytelling. But I absolutely love this change because it would 100% set up Noob Saibot. Scorpion Kuai Liang takes over because Scorpion finds out that Sub-Zero killed their beloved, cherished father. And then Bi-Han comes back as a Noob Saibot and wants to take over the Lin Kuei once again from his beloved brother Kuai Liang. Kinda see that happening in the story. I may be very wrong, but you know, it could very well happen. Maybe we could see actually Noob Saibot as a DLC character if it does happen. but they may keep it for the next game, who knows. But anyways, this is probably the most interesting stuff. So let's look at Liu Kang, our god of fire in this timeline. Having won control of the hourglass, Liu Kang restarted history. He neutralized the threats and dangers that had come before, crafting a new era in which all beings would have the opportunity to find peace. So he neutralized the threats and dangers that came before. So does that mean Quan Chi? Does that mean Shao Kahn? And every other villain we've ever known? Which is weird that we see Shang Tsung, coming through. So in my opinion, it seems that Shang Tsung is actually coming from another timeline completely. Maybe the timeline in which he gets Kronika's crown. But continuing here it says, but that peace is now threatened by an enemy that Liu Kang could never have anticipated. He will take all of his wisdom and experience to save not only Earthrealm, but all of reality. So we'll either get a brand new villain, or we'll get a villain that we haven't seen in a long time. I know a lot of people are talking about Onaga, and in a way I think it kind of makes sense, because let's say he got rid of Shao Kahn, because as we know, Mileena is not a clone. So to me it seems that Shao Kahn will not be like a part of the story. Then sure, Onaga could make a comeback because Shao Kahn was the one to defeat Onaga originally. So I get why a lot of people are saying this. And maybe it will be a completely new villain, as I mentioned. So there's not a lot to go off here, but I find all of this interesting. Especially where it says that he gives everyone the opportunity to find peace. I guess that's why he made Sub-Zero and Scorpion brothers. But people being people, they done messed up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next up, let's look at Kitana, the Princess of Outworld. Kitana has one purpose in life, to aid and protect her old sister, Mileena, as she prepares to rule Outworld one day. The steady-handed Kitana ignores the calls of those who advocate that she should replace her impulsive sister as heir. Instead, Kitana will defend the realm by fighting to make Mileena the best empress possible. She will also fight to hide the dark secret that could end her sister's reign before it begins. Now I understand why Kitana mains might be angry about this bio, because it only talks about Mileena. Which I don't mind, that's hilarious. Welcome to being a fan of Mileena for the past, decade. But everyone wanted them to be loving sisters. Everyone wanted them to have a great relationship, and when they do, people still complain. Honestly, I don't think that will be all her story is about. Obviously, it's just a short bio of who she is in this new timeline. So in this new timeline, obviously, her duty is to her sister. Prediction about how it's gonna go, like if Kitana is actually going to betray Mileena, or if someone is going to plant some stuff or seeds of doubt in Melina's mind to make her think that Kitana betrayed her. I think that would make more sense, because it seems that Kitana is like 100% devoted to Mileena, right? But it will be really interesting to see where the story goes. Next up, Kung Lao. Youthful warrior with dreams of glory. And that's all they were, dreams. Born and raised in the village of Pengjihan, Kung Lao has spent his life toiling in the fields. It has been an honorable life, if not a glorious one. So he has been growing up in the same village as Raiden. Kung Lao's greatest fear is that his life will amount to nothing. He prays fervently that he will be called to do something bigger. Literally the existential crisis everyone goes through. Hashtag relatable. His prayers are answered when he is asked to join the champions of Earthrealm. As a warrior fighting for its honor, Kung Lao knows that his victories will be long remembered. Hey, for once he's actually asked to be a champion, because if you recall in the original trilogy, they choose Liu Kang to be the champion instead of Kung Lao, but then in the rebooted timeline in Mortal Kombat 9 that was released in 2011, he had to sneak in the tournament. So, that's pretty funny. And finally, Johnny Cage has a very lackluster bio because it tells us exactly nothing. It's just good old Johnny Cage, Like many stars before him, Johnny became addicted to his fame. He came to measure his self-worth by his fans' adoration and their praise of him on social media. But with his star now fading, Johnny is fighting an uphill battle to remain relevant. He joins Liu Kang's Earthrealm champions, hoping that it will provide his career and his fame a desperately needed boost. In other news, Johnny will be Johnny. Also kind of weird that they put a shirt on him. I guess maybe they don't want to reveal that he has a Johnny tattoo, or maybe he gets the Johnny tattoo during the story. perhaps? I don't know. It's like they saw everyone's complaints about how the female characters had really boring and bundled up designs in MK11, and they were like, cool, yeah, we're gonna cover up all the dudes as well. No shirtless men for you. Oh boy. Either way, I'm really excited for this. Now I'm really hyped to find out about the bio of every other character that still hasn't been revealed yet. And hopefully they will get to revealing new characters very soon and get to posting the combat casts. So let me know what you think about all of these. I'm sorry if I memed on your main, you know, it's just for funsies. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. As always, have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you all very soon.